Welcome back to the Chill and Chat Talk Show.
Always looking forward to chilling and chatting.
And we have something very special planned for today.
Yes. Remember how we talked about love languages the other week? So today's show is going to be a love follow-up.
I love it. Yes. You know what we did? We secretly got in touch with the wife of one of our producers and asked her to do the love language quiz.
And then we're going to put the producer on the spot to see if he knows what his wife's primary love language is.
I love it. But, before we get him, put him on the spot, I think he should take the quiz online.
I've just sent it. So,
awesome. All right. Okay. Well, we'll give him a few minutes to fill it out. But meanwhile, let's remind our audience what the 5 love languages are.
Yeah, well, yours, receiving gifts. I know that. Number 1 for you.
Yes, and hers is acts of service. Just do something for her.
Yes, exactly. Words of affirmation.
Quality time and physical touch.
Which is our least one for both of us.
Yes.
Yeah, even that was like, don't touch me.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a little lovey-dovey.
But speaking of love, there's lots of great stories that have come out of COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, so for instance, I read one story, it was about roommates who were like really good friends, living together for a few years, and then because of COVID and they had to isolate together and spend so much time together, they fell in love.
I know, it's such a beautiful story.
Yeah, and now they're getting married.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's a story of the couple on their very first date together. Yeah. They both got the coronavirus.
Oh my goodness.
And then they decided to quarantine together.
Yeah.
And once the quarantine was over, they never moved out. They stayed together.
Aww.
They fell in love.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I even know personally, you're spending more time at home and, looking for things to do. And so we actually pulled out our videos, for my husband and I, and watched our wedding video.
I remember that.
Yes, and
I got to see them too. We got invited over to watch wedding videos.
And it was just to see ourselves so young and
you guys
in love.
Were so cute.
And it was so cute. And I just fell in love all over again. So there you go.
I know, that's very sweet. And so we're going to be interviewing a local CHILLIWACK lady.
Yes. She met someone online in the U.S. and we'll be meeting this person for the first time in Peace Arch Park. So we get to hear about that.
Yes, the Peace Arch Romance Park, I like to call it. So we'll be hearing more about that later. We'll be right back, but first, a word from a sponsor.
So welcome back. You got mail.
And again, we have mail.
Yes, we have mail.
All right, well, let's read some of them. Yeah. All right, so this one says, Dear Trish and Jenny, I love your wine section, just not sure the wine fits you, spelled W-H-I-N-E.
The wine part.
Wine.
Yeah.
Have you considered changing it to something more positive? Sincerely, Leah from Abbotsford.
Oh, well, interesting that she wrote that because we've been thinking the same thing. So coming up later in the show, we're actually going to address that in our wine segment.
Absolutely. And thank you, Leah, for emailing us again.
Yeah.
We thought that was a great observation.
Yeah. Okay, so I have here, Dear Jenny and Trish. She got it right. I love the love language show you did a few weeks ago. Any advice on how to get your husband to take the test? Sincerely, Maria from CHILLIWACK.
Oh, well, I have an answer for that.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You make a creative romantic evening. You have like
romantic evening.
Candles. Yes. Yeah, let's just kind of make it fun. And when your husband comes to sit down at the dinner table, you have right on his plate the website address to take the love language quiz and tell him it's all part of the date.
Yes, it's the appetizer.
Yes.
Before he actually gets the dinner. Or you could also promise him when you find out his primary love language, you can fill his love tank.
Ooh, that's really nice. So I think anyone could get their partner to take the test based on those two answers. But let us know how it goes, everybody.
So Trish, are we ready for our first guest?
Yes, we are. But before our guest, treasure trails.
morning, and we are on the Vedder Rotary Trail this morning.
Awesome.
With the raging river behind us.
All right, let's get going.
Here we go. The park benches have its multi-purpose. You can sit and ponder and look at the beautiful view. You can nap. Woo! You can do your exercises. So you can do a push-up from here. This is going to kill me. Okay, that was bad. But anyway, or your stretches.
So many choices, Jenny.
I know, this is actually 20.6 kilometers, and it's a loop around the river.
One of the many beautiful sights along the...
Vedder Rotary Trail.
Yes. Thanks for filling that in. That was awesome. One of the things I like about this trail is it lets you know how far you've gone. And Jenny, it's only 2 kilometers.
Love this sign. There is no poop ferry. This is going to be one of my wines. And look, the community can actually donate their plastic bags. You can bring them here and they can be used for a good cause. A very good cause.
Okay, we're drenched.
Okay, we're drenched. It rained. Actually, it poured.
It wasn't supposed to rain today.
No. And you know what? Always be prepared with rain gear when you're in BC hiking.
Even if it says it's not going to rain. Drenched as we are, we're ready to hide the treasure on our treasure trail.
And it's going to be close to these 3 rocks.
And it will be behind either this tree or this tree.
That tree.
Welcome, Amanda Darling. I love your last name.
Yeah, it's been great to have you on the show.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So Amanda, when everyone else was in self-isolation, you were busy meeting someone new in your life. Tell us about that.
That's a true story. What would you like to know? Basically, I did meet someone, spending a lot of time on Facebook, as we all were, and someone caught my eye there.
Nice.
Oh.
He happened to live on the other side of the closed border, though.
Oh no.
So it's been an interesting story so far.
Wow. So now tell us a little bit about your first in-person date. How did you decide to meet in person during COVID?
That was a very difficult decision to make, and we weighed everything out really carefully. I know there's been a lot of press recently about people doing the opposite, but Alex is his name.
Nice.
Alex and I took a lot of time to think that through, and we decided to take all the precautions that we could, especially since Washington and BC aren't quite level with the score on the COVID stuff right now.
That's true, yeah.
And I've got kids at home, so we did the 14-day isolation step beforehand.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And Alex is working from home right now. Neither of us are leaving the home to work right now, so that we feel takes a lot of the risk out of the interaction equation. And having groceries ordered at home, things like that. So it's almost like staying in isolation, except for coming to this one point between the countries.
Well, that's
so
really cool.
we've been able to mitigate the risk quite a lot that way.
Awesome. And you met at Peace Arch?
Yes.
Romance Park, I like to call it.
Romance Park. It's been dubbed a few things actually in the media recently. Passion Park, Disneyland for lovers.
I've heard that one, yes.
So how does it actually work? Because, it's a park in between the borders, is that correct?
Yeah, so basically it is, it's no man's land between the points of entry. Both Americans and Canadians have rights to be there at any point. So the Americans enter from their side, we enter from ours, and in between, it's both our land.
Yeah. Oh my
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you met in the park, on a date, and I think you did that quite often, as you were telling us. So how did you keep things interesting date after date?
Yeah.
And remember, this is PG.
Well, it's also in public, which helps, right?
That's true.
So what's been really cool about this experience is that it takes out that sort of lazy option where people are just the Netflix and chill mentality, where you're just being in the same place is enough, and you let the TV take over or whatever. So we've actually been very purposeful about every meeting that we've had, every date that we've had. And actually it's been really cool to see. I'm a picture taker, as you know enough about me to know that. Yeah. And Alex is actually quite that way too. So it's been very nice to have the freedom to snap and snap and snap without judgment. I gotta say that.
Nice, very nice.
Taking pictures of the food because he's quite a chef. And he's bringing the chef out in me recently, which has been really fun. So our meals have been, like, I gotta say, pretty top notch.
Wow.
I'm excited to show those pictures coming up because it's just amazing what he prepared for you on these dates.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome.
I know.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at them right now. Let's see some of these beautiful moments.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
such
beautiful.
beautiful photos. Oh my goodness, the food looks amazing.
Okay, and I can't believe he prepares you 5-course meals. Wow.
I mean, when you said he was an amazing cook, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah, definitely a keeper.
Right?
Yes.
I know.
No, you made the news recently. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
We did make a little cameo on the news. So as I said, there's been a lot of press about this. The word got out, although we tried our very best to keep it a really well-kept secret.
Yeah.
A lot of people were out there tagging the park location, and it got out.
Right.
So our little oasis got pretty full and crowded. Social distancing haven that it was became a little bit harder to navigate. And now, well, you want to talk about what's happening in that park now?
Sure.
Yeah,
We
sure.
have heard, but
Yeah.
So the pictures that we just saw of Mediterranean night with the blue dishes, that was us not celebrating, but marking the occasion that was actually the last meal we were able to share in the park for now, because the overcrowding has led to the closing of the Peace Arch Park on the Canadian side.
Right. Wow.
wow.
Yeah. Aren't people petitioning to have it open again? I heard that.
It's happening.
Yeah.
You see that down there sometimes, people with megaphones, and
Yeah.
it happes.
So when you're in the park, did you actually meet other people who kind of had the same story as you?
Yes, actually. So our little tagline for Alex and I is called One of Each, and that comes from when somebody asked us our citizenship the very first time we met, and we both blurted out at the same time, one of each. So that's actually stuck. And so when we're people watching a little bit here and there, and we watch and we're like, do you think they're one of each? Oh, that's totally one of each. Oh, there goes a one of each.
Aw,
So yeah,
sweet.
we're one of each.
Nice. Awesome. And so now that the border's closed, what are your plans once the border opens that you two are excited about?
So we have a lot of pictures that we have taken. You saw a very small sample. We've decided to open an Instagram account, actually, and it's named One of Each _ lifestyle. So I have a lot of content that was supposed to be up by now. Sorry, Alex. I told him it would be up by today. A lot of content to go up onto that Instagram account, and we plan to build that account. Alex is in the wine industry with a passion for food. I'm in the travel industry with a passion for life.
Yes.
And we plan to combine all of these elements into this lifestyle account. We will be traveling once that's a thing again. And the photos are just, I think, going to keep getting better and better and better as we go.
What a perfect
I
combination.
can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And Amanda, you are such an amazing photographer.
Yes.
I keep telling you should start a photography
You do
company.
keep telling me
So
that.
we'll definitely share your Instagram name so that everyone can check it out.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we wish you love and happiness.
Yes, love
And
and happiness.
I'm so glad that you have a happy COVID story.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. And now, Bruce on the loose.
It's Bruce on the Loose. All right, so this is Bruce on the Loose, and I'm getting ready to head out. I want to take you to some of the places that I love in Chilliwack. Okay, so I drive for one of the food courier companies in town, and there's places that have slugged it out through this crisis, and they've kept in business, and they've been doing great. And I want to come show you some of those places. So come on, let's go. On the north side of the highway, right off of Evans Road. Real simple to get there. All right, we have arrived. We have come to Joe's Italian Deli right on 8249 Eagle Landing, right beside the Galaxy Cinema, and this is one of my favorite places to be. Come on in, let's have a look. There's two reasons why I love coming in this place. This is amazing. For a little tiny spot in the middle of what I thought I could not find some Italian products. Here, look at the amount of products they have, all imported from Italy. There's beautiful pastas, there's sauces, there is olive oil and stuff that I love to take home. I mean, I've spent a lot of money here, let me tell you. Don't tell my wife I have spent a lot of money here. Thank you for letting us come in here. As I said, there's two things. The second thing that I love is the sandwiches. I think I've had them all, but I think I love the Italian sub the best because it's fantastic. And so you guys even have some variety here. I found a cheese here that I had not found anywhere outside of Toronto, and there it is right in front of me the whole time. This is fantastic. Come down to this place. We're getting back to business locally, and we want everybody to come eat locally, come support these businesses that fought it out during the COVID crisis. And here's one of them, Kurt. Thank you for that. And we'll get back to you later. You never know where he's going to show up next.
Welcome back, and we already have our guest with us. But before we talk about our guest, I just want to say that Bruce on the Loose is a funny guy.
He's hilarious.
You know, I love how he's giving back to the community
Yes.
by highlighting local
Yes,
businesses.
that's very nice and much needed right now.
Yes.
You know, in these COVID times. So
Absolutely.
Way to go, Bruce on the Loose. And we're also lucky with our next guest coming up
Yes.
because she is all about love also. So welcome, Kristen Olynick.
Thank
Yes,
you. I'm so happy to be
welcome.
here.
It's so great to have you.
Yes.
So, Kristen, you are known as the happy wedding officiant. So, how long have you been a happy wedding officiant?
I've been a happy wedding officiant for quite some time. Really stepped into it about 7 years ago. That means like more taking on that full time.
Right.
It became so addicted. I'm addicted to love.
Yeah.
You
And
are, yes.
just had to keep on keeping on,
Yeah.
and just it really increased over the last 7 years.
And how much fun to be with all these people on their very special day.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
we
a good
know-
addiction.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
is. It's a very good addiction.
And we know that you'll be we'll be having you on the show in a few weeks to give us more details about your Vancouver officiant.
Great.
But we heard you also have a Peace Arch Park romantic story to share.
Yes.
Absolutely, I do. Now, Amanda Darling and Alex, their story just touched my heart.
Yeah.
How
Yes.
incredible. There are a lot of stories like that, not quite like theirs, like, the whole, professional cooking and all of that. Their stories
know,
unique
wow.
to them. And, but wow, what an incredible story. And you know what? Should they down the road decide that a wedding ceremony's, as a thing for them, I'd like to offer myself as their wedding officiant.
So cool.
Yeah, so the story I'll share briefly about right here today is the groom contacted me and just told me about his story, and that phone conversation went on. He phoned me several times over a 3-day period because he was like working so hard to find a solution to bring his bride up from California.
Oh, wow.
And the story touched me. He asked me if I was willing to come to the Peace Arch because he had discovered a way to get married during this COVID time, and that is to actually meet where Amanda and Alex met, and that's the Peace Arch Park, which I didn't know was considered a neutral zone.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I just was like,
Canadians
okay,
are
I didn't
US,
even know about that. And I really, again, their story touched me. And away we went to make sure that they could get legally married, and she would then be able to come into Canada with him.
Wow.
So, did they say they got married in Canada or the United States?
yeah, what would it be?
It's true. It's a neutral zone.
Yeah.
And how that took place was, the ceremony, the legalization aspect. And then I actually went into the Canadian border, site and remained there with them as they processed the bride. Lots of questions, lots of investigation went on. And because they're not getting married and then her going back to the States, as some couples have had to do. She was coming in again with that visitor status to remain here in Canada after quarantining for 14 days. And then she would remain as a visitor for 6 months and then have to return home because, of course, immigration and all of that has to take place afterwards. But for now, she was able to because she was legally married. And so she was able to cross over. And while I'm there, I mean, I never showed a passport or anything because I've never left Canada.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was amazing, just to see these. And as we finished at the border and we crossed, we were in Canada, but crossed into the parking lot, the groom just cried. He had worked so hard.
Romantic.
And then it was just like that. It happened.
Well, at least they were able to have their honeymoon together.
Yes, that
After
is so great.
2 weeks, right?
Well, Kristen, we can't wait to have you back on our show in a few weeks. So thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Great, you too. Thank you.
Thanks.
And now, Wine and Wine.
What?
Welcome to Wine and Wine. All right, today's wine is Sandhill 2017 Syrah.
And where did you get that?
I actually signed up again for the BC Urban Kitchen and Wine Bar Wine Club, and so this was delivered to our home.
Lovely.
With a couple of other
signed up.
bottles.
I did that before and I loved it.
Yeah, Kim, the owner, she's got very good taste, so she knows the good wines to send.
Oh, yeah, I know,
Well
for
worth
sure.
it. Well worth it. Yeah. So this is
2017.
2017, and I believe
okay.
it's in Kelowna, right?
Yeah. Well, really, that's all that matters. They have a wine tasting room in Kelowna, just
Oh,
off right there,
yes.
and we're gonna be there this weekend, so we get to check it out.
So we'll definitely be visiting Sandhill.
Yes.
Now let's have a little taste.
Okay.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, a little
hard there.
Oh, lovely. I can taste coffee. What? I can totally taste coffee. And I don't drink coffee, but I used to drink
I'll
coffee.
see what I can taste here.
Okay, I'll try again.
I taste tea.
Tea? I tasted plum that time. And maybe even lemon.
All I taste is how good it is. It's awesome.
Dark cherries. It's a wonderful, wonderful blend. Highly recommend this wine.
It is very nice. Yeah.
All right, what's our wine today?
Okay, yes, our wine, as I said earlier about the poop fairies.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the sign that
they
said,
don't exist. Poop fairies
Yes,
don't
they don't
exist.
exist. And so they don't exist. I just like to say they don't exist in my yard either.
No.
Yeah, we happen to have a house on a road that is the entrance on the road that's the entrance to a hike, and all the people walk by with their dogs, and they're on their leash, and they let their dogs poop in our yard.
Wow.
I know.
I'm sure they don't all do it, just a few.
Well, I don't know.
Like how many piles of poop have you had?
A couple a week. That's
No
enough.
way.
Yes,
That's okay.
enough.
That's too much.
Yes.
Okay, so you need that sign.
I need
near
that
your
sign.
house.
No poop fairies here.
Why don't you just get one put up on your yard?
I should. Yes, it's not. nice to step in or, drive
You
over.
love dogs.
Oh, I love dogs. I just don't like their poop.
Oh, no, I don't. Me either.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my wine. Okay, we're backing up. Cut. We are not whining anymore because we are not whiners. It's so
We're
hard
not
for us to
whiners.
whine.
It's so hard to come up with wines every week. So
I
we're
know.
changing it.
Yeah.
It's no longer wine and wine.
It is going to be wine and
What?
what?
So, it could
you
be
know
a
what?
different what every week. So
It could be a different
wine
what.
and wisdom,
Wine and wonder.
wine and wow,
Wow. Yeah, I like that one.
wine and whack words.
Ooh, we could do that one too.
Yeah, it's like something fun. So
Wine and whisper.
oh yeah,
Or wine and wink.
wink. Okay.
We can do so much stuff.
We're gonna have fun with wine and what.
What.
So stay tuned from now on for
Yeah.
wine and what. Cheers.
Wine and what? Cheers.
Welcome back, everyone.
And the results are in.
Yes, Barris has completed the love language test finally.
I know, and I can't believe he did that. That's awesome.
I know. So we did leave some space for Barris to come and join us. Are you going to come join us now, Barris?
Well, I'm working here. But yes. So good to be on the show.
Welcome,
Woo!
Barris.
All right. CHILLIWACK tonight. Yes.
All right.
So,
Good to see you guys.
yeah, you too. So,
Good to see you.
Before we test you on your wife's love language, let's hear what your primary love language is.
yeah.
Well, I took the test. I scored.
How did you like it?
I loved it. I scored.
No, you didn't. But
I scored 99%. So I got one wrong. Was that the test I was supposed to take?
No.
no, that's not the one.
Okay, I'm just kidding. It was a very interesting test. It only took 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Took
Not.
a little longer. I thought about things, right? But yeah,
That's
time
good.
spent was my number one
Nice.
love language, 37%.
Yeah.
So I guess that's important.
Yes.
Physical touch,
Yeah.
it's important, right? 30%.
Yeah.
And then words of affirmation was 20%. So that was my number 3. And then gifts were 0. So there.
Zero.
Guess I don't care
no
about that.
gifts. So no gifts for
What-
Barris.
Well, what a nice romantic type of love language is time spent
Yes.
and physical touch. So
And physical touch is also just about being
Cuddling
in
on
the
the
same
couch
room
and-
together,
yeah,
just
exactly.
hanging
Who
out.
Who doesn't like
Yeah.
cuddling? Netflix and chill,
Yeah.
chill TV and chill. Huh?
Yeah, or while you're cooking in the kitchen, your wife's there on the couch
Yeah.
watching you. Those
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of things.
No,
Same room.
that's all good stuff. Yeah.
So now,
Drum roll.
what would you say, or what would your guess be for your wife's primary love language?
Well, Trish and Jenny, I'd rather not answer that on the grounds that it might incriminate me.
Well,
Oh, I think
putting
you'll
on-
do great. I think you'll do great. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to be very similar. So, like physical, I know is very important. Time spent, I think, is very important. Words of affirmation. So those top 3. I don't think she's a big into the gifts. I think we're very similar in that.
wow.
And then the acts of service. I didn't even really quite understand that. I think I have to go back and retake the test because.
Oh,
Well, you're really close.
you
Yeah,
are really, really
yeah,
close.
Yeah.
Actually, her first one was physical touch.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
her second one was words of affirmation.
Oh,
So
I wouldn't have guessed second, but okay. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
So-
but good job.
now you know how to fill her love tank, correct?
I think you already knew
Yes.
by the sounds of it.
Now hang
that's-
on.
so it's
What
cuddle-
rating does this show have?
It's
'Cause
called
that's-
cuddling on the couch and telling her she looks beautiful, because those
Yes.
are her 2 top.
And she is beautiful, and
Yeah.
who doesn't like cuddling on the couch? So.
Exactly.
Oh, well, there you go.
Easy
All
peasy.
right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Isabel, for taking
Yes,
the test
thank
and
you.
playing with us as well today.
Thank you for having me on the show. Can I have work to do? So
Yeah,
would
you need to
mind
come
if
back and fix the
I will go do
teleprompter.
that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we need the teleprompter.
All right.
But
so,
while we're waiting, who won the treasure trails?
it was really great. It took a while for people to figure it out,
Yeah.
but it ended up being Sue Hall from Langley.
Yes, congratulations, Sue.
The answer was the
Whistler
Whistler
Golf
Golf
Course
Course
Loop.
Loop, part of the Big Valley Trail, which
Yeah.
is like 40 kilometers.
Yeah.
So
Well, we didn't
congratulations.
do 40 kilometers,
No, we
but
didn't.
we
We
did
just
a-
did 5.
Yes, exactly. And next week's show will be all about hanging out in beautiful Kelowna.
can't wait.
So excited. We're going to share tons of the great places to visit, where you can go for wine tasting. And they have like millions and millions of hikes. So we get to hike like
We'll have
every single
lots
day.
of
Maybe we
fun.
can go twice too.
And this is because we're not in Italy. We're supposed to leave for Italy
Yes.
tomorrow. But we're
Instead,
not.
we're going to Kelowna.
Yes.
But, still have
So
wine.
anyone who wants to share with us questions, feedback, or requests for topics, email us at chillandchattv@gmail.com. And until next time, cheers. Keep chilling and chatting.